morning and welcome to Coffee Break. You're not going to believe this, but we've got an awful lot of guests here today. And they're not our normal type of guests, they're kids. And we're going to have a great time today talking to these kids. But before we do that, we're going to talk about a couple of things that everybody's interested in, like the weather. And the first thing is it's definitely sunny today. It's beautiful, and tomorrow too. We're supposed to have highs in the mid-80s, so make sure you get out on this last weekend of the real summer and enjoy whatever you possibly can. And it's great sleeping weather too. It's in the 60s, so make sure you really enjoy yourselves. Sunday and Monday we've got a chance of rain, so plan accordingly. But it's supposed to be nice on Tuesday, and of course nice for when we go back to school too, which I'm sure everybody just can't wait for. A couple of local updates. If you read in the paper this morning, there's a census in Carbon County, and we feel that we're missing some people. So if you weren't counted, make sure you get a hold of the local people in the government here in Carbon County. There's an auto show in Lehighton on Sunday at the fairgrounds from 8 to 3, and you can be sure that you're going to see a lot of neat cars out there. The West End Fair had a special visitor yesterday. They had the State Secretary of Agriculture. So, you know, if you were there, maybe you got to see that person. And, of course, we only have 5 days till school starts. Another note here, just to let everybody know, too, the Palmerton Festival is going to be coming up on September 14th, 15th, and 16th. And one of the organizations that needs extra help is the Palmerton Elementary PTO. We're going to have the fish stand on Friday night, and we also have a bake sale and a cakewalk on Saturday and Sunday. And we would like volunteers to help us make cakes or pies or anything that we can sell and then also have for the cakewalk. If you're interested, please call Debbie Young at 826-5896 or just call the S.S. Palmer building. We would greatly appreciate it. Next week, Coffee Break will be back with Kim, and on Monday, of course, Labor Day, we won't be on. But on Tuesday, Kim will be here, and she'll have on New Skin. It's a beauty product, it's a new product, and I'm sure you're going to want to tune into that. On Wednesday, Gary Smith will be here, and he is exhibiting his paintings right now at the Hazard House Gallery in Jim Thorpe. On Thursday, we're going to have a single male parent, and he's going to be talking about some of the problems and, I'm sure, some of the rewards of raising a child singly. And then on Friday, a massage practitioner will be here. Oh, I think that's the one I want to volunteer for. Anyway, this massage practitioner will be showing you some of the good benefits of having a massage. And the following Monday, for those of you who are real wrestling fans, Dick Kressner is going to be here with some pro wrestlers. So I'm sure that you're going to want to tune in for that one. And those are the happenings that are going to be coming up on Coffee Break. Now this morning, remember, you can call in at any time with questions, but it's only for this 10 o'clock show. It's not for the 4:30 show. But I'm going to be talking about some things that you can do as a parent to help your child this school year and all the school years that follow. And so if you have any questions for me or any of the kids, please make sure you phone your questions in, and we'll try and answer them to the best of our ability. Now, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to be back, and I'm going to introduce some of the kids, and we're also going to be talking about some things that you can do to help your child this school year. Bye.
On the street, you don't get another quarter.
This public service announcement has been brought to you by Blue Ridge Cable Television.
The Panorama Channel is the bright choice for Pennsylvanians interested in learning. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, tune in for college credit and non-credit courses in areas ranging from psychology to art, computers to culture. But the Panorama Channel brings you more. Foreign languages, public affairs, programs of interest no matter what your interests. So make the bright choice. The Panorama Channel, a service of higher education and the Pennsylvania cable industry.
And we're back. I have to tell you, I, of course, am not the regular host here on Coffee Break. Kim Bell has been your host for most of the mornings that you've seen it lately. I am really the reading supervisor here, well, not here, but in the Lehighton Area School District. I'm Anita Siegfried. And, of course, I've filled in on Coffee Break many times, but my real role is a teacher and a reading supervisor. And I feel strongly about what we can do to help our kids. My main role in life, of course, is a parent. I have two of my kids here today, and of course a lot of other ones that you've seen so far on the screen. And our real role as a parent may have something to do with the way our kids turn out. Parents play the most important role. A teacher can give your child a lot of information, but you are the ones that really have to make that information work. And one of the things that I feel strongly about is something called study skills. And study skills basically are skills for studying, that is, learning, and how we look at a lot of different basic skills. Some of the skills that we're going to talk about today are the materials and the area where your child studies or does his or her homework. Now, one of the things that I firmly believe in are notebooks. I have a notebook here, okay? And it's just a basic notebook, and I have some papers in it, but I have it all sectioned off, okay? Notebooks are really important. They are important for you as a student, and they're important for you as a parent to know that your child has. I can take these papers out of here very easily. I can put them back in. I can move them around from section to section. So it's really important that you keep a notebook like this. I know a lot of my kids in high school come into class with spiral notebooks. And if I ask them to see a paper, all they end up doing is ripping out that piece of paper and they hand it to me. Well, now, what am I supposed to do with this paper when I hand it back to them? It's very difficult for them to put it into a notebook because it has all those ragged edges. So I think that if you're going to buy your student or your child anything, make sure you're getting them notebook paper and a 3-ring notebook. The kids have some trappers here. They call them trappers. Guys, hold these up a minute. Katie has one, Trevor. These are really great for these kids because look how organized they become. And organization's really important. Okay, Trev, you can hold yours down a minute. Okay, we have these pockets on the side. Yeah, look at that. We have pockets on the side where they can keep extra little things, maybe rulers or pencils. Now, Katie has a spiral notebook, but she's going to use hers for keeping her assignments in there. She has extra folders. You notice there's still room for notebook paper in here, but then there's also room for extra papers. And I know if your children are anything like mine, sometimes they forget to bring their papers home. And if they had a special section to put them in when they got them from their teachers, they could just take them right out of there and put them in. These folders are also great because they have lots of information on them. They have measurements. Some of them have state capitals and states. Some of them even have maps. And of course, in the back of this trapper, there's still room for a packet of notebook paper and a pencil to be clipped in at the top. This is probably one of the best things that I've seen come out in the last couple years dealing with kids and their notebooks. Now, I know in Lehighton, Annika, let me have your other notebook up there. Lehighton gives out notebooks like this at the high school to all of our kids. Because I'm such a firm believer in this, and our principal up there, he decided that, yes, this was a good idea. We don't give tablets of paper anymore. We give notebook paper and a notebook to every student at the beginning of the year. Now, whenever the student needs notebook paper from then on, all they have to do is ask their homeroom teacher or their class teacher. And then it makes it very easy for them to fill this up and keep using this for the notes that they have to take in their classes. We also have a lot of the punches available, and so they can easily punch their papers without a problem. So I'm a firm believer in making sure that your child has a notebook and paper to do their homework in, and when they hand it back in and take it back again. Okay? This is another one. It's set up very similarly. And again, you notice they even keep their atlases in here. Atlases, dictionaries, and thesauruses. Now, a thesaurus is similar to a dictionary, but what it does is it gives synonyms and antonyms, and it's really a good thing to have when you're working on words. Okay? Now, as you can see, it depends on the name brand, but they all work the same way. They keep all of the materials intact together, and it makes it easy for them to pack it up at the end of the day and bring it home. So I highly suggest getting something like this for your child to use at school. Now, another thing that you want to look at when you're working with your child at home is the study area. And a desk is important. Now, if you don't have a desk, then make sure, if they're sitting at the kitchen table, make sure it's free of any distractions. I was notorious as a child for getting waylaid by distractions. If there was a fork sitting there, it was a lot easier to play with that fork than it was to do with my homework. So move your things away and just make room for that person to do their homework. If you have 2 or 3 kids doing homework at the same time, that might make it difficult because maybe they'll become distracted by somebody else sitting there. But again, just try and keep that in mind. If they have their own desk in their room, which is probably the best thing that you can do, make sure they have a good light. And if they have a light right on their desk, I suggest using a pink light bulb. Now, you probably think that's kind of crazy, and guys, don't worry, because you really don't see the pink light bulb. But what it does, it causes a nice, soft light on the papers, and your eyes don't get as tired, and you also can see what you have written or whatever you're reading a lot clearer. So try and use a pink light bulb. Now, one other thing that you want to keep in mind when you're starting to get your child ready for school is organization and planning. And I suggest highly that within that first week of school, you start to sit down with your children and get a schedule together. And make sure that you're looking at everything that that child possibly does. For example, if you have children in Scouts and you're filling out a schedule, make sure, hold this schedule up a minute. Okay, this is a blank one. This is a blank schedule. And on here, your kids can fill in if they have special things to do during the day. It's kind of hard to see, and you can make up your own. You might even just use a calendar, and you can fill in the time slots where you have Scouts. You could fill in a time slot if you have choir, if you have dance, if you have judo, karate, anything that your child is involved in. Make sure you fit that in because, outside activities are important. Homework is also important. Believe me, I know how many kids don't do their homework, and I think it's because they really don't know how to plan their time. So once they have set up a schedule, they can work around it. Now, I've been talking to a lot of these kids over the last, couple of days, and they have been telling me specifically when they do their homework. Now, Katie, when do you do your homework?
I do mine mainly after I eat supper.
After you eat supper. Tara?
Right after school.
All right. Now, you see, we have 2 different ideas right there because these kids sometimes forget, or they set up their own schedule. Tara does hers as soon as she comes home because she knows if she doesn't do it then, it probably won't get done. And Katie has other things going on, piano lessons and things like that, but it's much easier for her to do it when she, after she eats supper. She has time then. If there are a lot of siblings and brothers and sisters in the house, then it might cause a problem, and you might definitely have to close that door so nobody can bother you when you're doing your assignments. But again, if you try and set up a schedule for your kids that you know when they have activities, that they know when they will have time to do homework, and give them rewards once in a while. If they've done their homework, give them a break. And don't make them do homework for more than a half an hour at a time. Now, we are going to take a break here, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to introduce all the kids, and we're going to ask them about some of the things that they are ready for in school.
picture ever beyond tomorrow.
I'm going to go here and see.
Honey, tonight we're tuning in the world.
No, look great. Look good too.
Cable television. Looking at your future every day.
The inpatient services at Palmerton Hospital are complemented by an outstanding medical facility with extensive surgical capabilities. A team of dedicated doctors, specialists, and nurses reassure and comfort those in need. With modern state-of-the-art equipment, the medical staff practices a wide range of orthopedic, gynecological, and general surgery services and offers the finest cardiac and internal medicine care, supporting the Palmerton Hospital's commitment to quality, compassionate care.
And we're back. And again, just try and make sure you think about some of the things that I just said about keeping a good notebook and helping your child to keep it organized, and also think of the time schedules and planning that you want to do to make your child successful over this school year. And remember, you see telephone numbers being flashed underneath your screen. So if you have any questions for any of us, just give us a call here at the TV studio. But again, remember, it's only for this show up until 10:30, not the 4:30 show. Now, what I'd like to do is introduce some of my guests today. And I'm going to start up here in the back of me, and they're going to tell us their names and the schools that they go to.
Hi, I'm Andrea Baylor, and I'm going to 3rd grade. My teacher is Mrs. Semock, and I go to S.S. Palmer.
Thank you, Andrea.
Hi, I'm Ashley Smith, and I'm going to 3rd grade at S.S. Palmer School, and my teacher is Mrs. Harris.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tara Cohen, and I'm going to S.S. Palmer School, and I'm going to 5th grade.
And who's going to be your teacher this year?
My teacher is Mrs. Dolman.
Very good, Tara.
Hi, I'm Katie Loganrich. I'm going to Mrs. Harding's 5th grade in S.S. Palmer.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Carrie Smith, and
What grade are you going to, Carrie?
I'm going to kindergarten, and my teacher is Mrs. Capoeira.
Do you think you're going to have a good time in kindergarten this year? Why?
Because it's so fun.
It's so much fun. And who do we have over here?
Hi, I'm Amanda Semock, and I'm going to 5th grade in the S.S. Palmer School, and I have Mr. Delich.
That's okay, I know. We're a little under pressure here. What do you think is going to be neat about 5th grade? You better say something good, or Mr. Delich is going to be on your case right away. Do you think you're going to meet any new kids?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. And now we're going to go over here, and this is our senior member. And I'm saying senior member because Katie is going to 8th grade. Go ahead, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Baylor, and I'm going to the 8th grade at the junior high.
Okay, now she's going here in Palmerton, and she can't say what teacher she has because she'll probably end up with about, 6 or 7 different teachers every day?
Yeah.
Katie, when you went to the junior high, what made it so much different than when you were in elementary school?
So big.
So big?
Hard to find your way around.
Okay. So anybody that's going to 7th grade, any clues, anything that you want to tell them? Don't panic?
Yeah.
And don't get lost, huh? And up front here, we have...
Hi, I'm Trevor Siegfried. I'm going to 5th grade, and my teacher is going to be Mrs. Dahlman.
Okay, and Trevor also goes to the S.S. Palmer School. And who are you?
Annika
Annika what?
Siegfried,
And Annika, what grade are you going to?
kindergarten,
And who's your teacher going to be?
Mr. Heine.
Why are you looking forward to going to kindergarten?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, I'm glad we didn't rehearse that one.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Baylor, and I'm going to 5th grade, and my teacher's Mrs. Dolman.
Okay, so Mrs. Dolman has quite a crew here today.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Semock, and I'm going to 5th grade in S.S. Palmer School, and my teacher's going to be Mr. Reardon.
Mr. Reardon. Nick, what do you think is going to be neat about 5th grade?
Learning responsibilities.
Ooh, learning responsibility. What a good answer, Nick. Now, you guys know Nick. What do you think? Learning responsibility?
Never.
I think the cat's out of the bag on Nick on that one. But there are some other things here that I think the kids are now realizing that they're going to have to do. What about homework, guys? How do you think homework's going to be different? Amanda, what do you think about homework this year?
We might have more homework.
More homework. Why?
Because it's a higher grade.
Okay, yeah. Now, when you get more homework, then what's going to happen?
You have to spend more time doing it.
Yeah, definitely more time to do your homework. Mary Beth told me something the other day that I thought was pretty good. Now, Mary Beth takes dance lessons. But Mary Beth, what did you tell me that you were going to do if you had too much homework?
Just not go to dance.
And do what?
Do my homework.
And do your homework. When do you do your homework usually, Mary Beth?
After supper.
Okay. And so therefore, and dance is usually after supper, right?
Yes.
So therefore, you know, something might have to be sacrificed here. She's got her ideas in the right position here. What are some other things that maybe you're going to think about this year, actually? What's going to be neat about third grade?
I don't know.
Dead silence, of course, you know, and these kids couldn't be, you know, they had to talk the whole time we were off the air before. Ashley, what's one thing that scares you about going to third grade?
It'll get a lot harder.
A lot harder, huh? And that's not good, huh? No. What do you think about third grade, Andrea?
It's going to be a lot harder, too.
And what else?
I don't know.
You don't know. Are you going to get any other classes this year that you didn't have last year?
Well, we're going to have to switch teachers for math.
Oh, and that'll be different, huh?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. So she's not too concerned at this point as to what's going on other than switching classes for math. And they know that once they get into a higher grade, it does get a little bit harder. Katie, what are some of the things that in 8th grade that you know are going to be a lot different than even last year? Anything, you know, at all? Will you have to go into the high school for anything?
Yeah.
Like what?
Lunch, library, home ec, and industrial arts.
Okay. And how do you usually, how do you feel about going into the high school for those things?
Like it.
You like it? You like to go into the high school, huh?
Yeah.
So next year you're really looking forward to 9th grade, huh? Because, you know, high school, that's definitely, you've made it then, right?
Yep.
Okay. Trev, when you're in school, okay, what's probably one of your most favorite things that you like to do?
Have recess.
Have recess. Yeah. And you know what? Recess is really important. And I had a feeling that that's what he was going to say. And the reason that I'm saying that it's really important is because kids need to have exercise. They need to be able to get out there and not really use their mind and think about something very, very strongly. They just get to go out there and let off some steam and use up the energy that they get pent up, you know, after being in class for a long time. So even though Katie in 8th grade doesn't get recess anymore, she does get a gym class. How many do you get, Katie?
2.
2? Okay, so she gets 2 gym classes a week. It's probably not quite enough, but at least it's enough to, you know, to get some of that energy out of their system and to do something different. Now, we're going to take a break, and if you have any questions, give us a call here at the studio.
Check 1, check 2, check.
Okay, let's roll.
Good evening. I'm Larry King, and tonight we'll spend time with a living legend. Frank Sinatra, Bill Cosby, Kathleen Turner, Stallone.
Okay, please hold and have your question ready.
Back to the calls, New York. Hello.
I love you, Larry.
Are you a singer who acts or an actor who sings?
Great show, everyone.
Larry King Live. More than just a lot of talk. Weeknights on CNN.
Ron, it's getting late. I think we should go home.
Yeah, just wait 1 second. One more, okay?
Linda, are you leaving?
Hey, I'm taking her home, all right?
Linda, he's wasted. You're not going home with him, are you? We'll be all right.
But he wasn't all right. That was the last time I saw Ron. We used to talk about our dreams, our hopes, our plans, maybe even our plans together. But now that's all over.
Now, we're back, and as you can see, we've got an address on the screen. It's Coffee Break. It's 936 Elm Street, Lehighton, Pennsylvania, 18235. And the telephone number is 377-4060. If you have anything that you would like to see on Coffee Break or hear about, or if you would even like to be on Coffee Break, give us a call at that number, and we will be glad to think about your ideas and think about what you are saying about Coffee Break. And we're back again, and here we are with this crew. And do you guys have any other things that you're thinking about with school? If you notice, they're all dressed up for the first day of school. And as they were walking in, I was looking around and I thought, God, what great outfits. They all have basically something different. Some of the girls have skirts, some have shorts, some have the big baggy pants. We've got sweatshirts. We've all got new shoes. I mean, that's a must for the first day. And they really look like they are ready to go back to school. And I know a lot of them have been out getting their wardrobes together and really basically trying to get it all together before school starts, because they know once school starts, they don't always have a whole lot of time. So parents, what you want to do is make sure, try and make this the best year that you possibly can for your kids. Make sure that you're helping them in studying. Make sure that you're trying to give them the best by helping them to get organized, to use the time that they have, to get their schedules and their activities, and make sure they're involved in activities. We want kids to get extra activities in there. It really does help. And another thing, too, take them to the library. Let them read as many books as possible. And if they're in kindergarten, like Carrie and like Annika, then make sure that they are getting the chance to read all the possible books, okay? And take out lots of books. And other things that I wanted to get into, but I didn't, magazines are important. Newspapers, you know, read anything. Get them to read lots of things. Reading is so important. And reference materials. Make sure you have some type of a dictionary at home, a thesaurus, and an atlas. And make sure that you're just trying to do whatever you can to love them and to encourage them. And if you do that, you're going to play the most important role that you possibly can with your child. Next week again, remember, here on Coffee Break, we'll have Kim back. There won't be a coffee break on Tuesday, on Monday, on Labor Day. But we will on Tuesday. There'll be the new Skin Beauty product. We'll have